Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of the viewers from around the world. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be considering one interesting indicator which helps us getting a good idea of the price dynamic and the force behind it. The name is OBV, which stands for On Balance Volume. This indicator tries to give you an idea of the price momentum using the volume data. If we see that, for example, if we take the momentum to be on the bullish side, so for that we will need two confirmation factors. First, there should be pricing movement on the upper side. The current close should be, of course, need to be on the higher side compared to the prior close, and to see whether that is being backed by enough of enthusiasm by the market participants, we have to also look at the volume. So this indicator takes into consideration both these factors. We look at the price dynamic along with that the volume data, and if it is ongoing, it is rising in the same direction. In that case, we see it building up and giving us opportunity to trade with it. So let us now head to the JForex for the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the USD JPY chart on the hourly time frame. The candlestick time frame is of hourly. For this indicator, you can go through these two options: the add indicator F3 or quick search F4. You will find this indicator listed amongst the volume indicators just below ask and bid volumes, which we will consider in the next session. Here it is on balance volume. You can do a quick search as well. Simply type in OBV and you have it. Okay. So here, if we now consider the output value of the OBV, you will see that this value tends to be sometimes above zero and on other times it is below zero. This simply adds up the volume data depending on the price move. If we have the current candle closing on the higher side compared to the prior close, then we get the current volume added to the prior volume. If we have the current close equal to the prior close, then there is no change, and in case we have the current close below the prior close, in that scenario the volume of the current candle period is deducted from the volume of the cumulative volume recorded in the prior period. So that's how this unbalanced volume is calculated, and using that then we can determine if the price momentum is being backed by good enough enthusiasm of the market participants. If we have strong volume accompanying the price moves, then that move is likely to last much longer, and we can filter out some of the signals generated by other indicators using these filter of the volume, and only when there is good enough turnover and the volume is high, we can decide to get involved, and that is likely to increase our profitability factor. So here the interpretation, as I said, is simple, and for this indicator to be used as a tool to design the entry and exit, we can use its classical interpretation, where we can look at its values, and if it is on the rise, then we can start looking for the buying opportunities, and if we see it to be in decline, then we can start looking for the opportunities to short sell. But that also raises one important question, because from each candle period, depending on these price dynamic, we will have these changes which can fluctuate, and sometimes when there is no clear momentum, and if the things are going simply sideways, in 1 hour the OBV might rise and another hour it might drop back again. So we will of course need to define the system in such a way that we have the possibility, the probability on the higher side. So I think for that we will have to carry out some observations and then define the requirements, define the parameters in such a way that that we have the momentum on our side and it is strong enough momentum. So my assumption is that to simply filter out the noise compared to the actual working signals, we can simply use it in multiples of the prior output. Suppose if we have a strongly increased activity in the current candle period or in the prior candle period, and if it is rising multifold, that gives you the idea of the signal or increased enthusiasm amongst the market participants, and that can be construed as a signal to get involved for the trade. So you can compare the current candle's volume with the prior candle's volume and also the cumulative volume, and if you see there is a increase or decrease which is multifold, and in that scenario you can get involved. So for example, if you simply consider the output of the OBV for last three candles, the current candles, prior candle, and the candle prior to that, you can figure out the difference between these three candles. And if you see that in the current candle, if the volume is multifold of the prior candle and it is cumulatively on the same direction, if it is rising compared to the second last candle or third last candle, and as I said, the interest among the market participants is quite high, then I think we can use as a signaling mechanism to initiate the new trade entries. Same thing can be also applied for the sell trade. As you can notice here, the difference between these prior three candles needs to be taken into consideration. And if we look at it, the difference between the prior candle, the second last candle and then the last candle is quite high compared to the difference between the second last candle and the third last candle. And in this scenario where these last candles OBV is quite low compared to the third last candle, we could have gone for the initiation of the short sale trade somewhere around this 1 GMT, that is here, and it would have given you a profitable trade. Same applies here also on the prior side when we saw this multiple jump in the OBV. So this kind of opportunities where you see sharp moves in the volume data even before there is a significant price move, and if we have both this confirmation in place, I feel we will have naturally a chance on the higher side for making money. So that's the simple interpretation of this indicator. Now, if we have to look at its editing options, let's consider the editing panel. There is not much we can edit. We can simply change its applied price. We can opt for different types of applied prices. We can consider close price, open price, high price, low price, median price, typical price, or weighted close price. So all these options are given there, and these options can be tried upon. Depending on what kind of applied price you use, you will have variation in the output of your OBV, because each applied price is going to have its own characteristic, and as a result of that it is going to impact these changes. It is going to impact this calculation. So pay attention to this and see what kind of applied price is going to serve your purpose for figuring out the profitable opportunity in the best possible manner, and go for that applied price. All right, now I'm going to restore it back. Then comes the option of choosing our favorite color. You can customize this. You can go for the brighter shades, or all these options are given to you, or you can even opt for a custom color combination. So you get to choose from all these kinds of color. Let's try this out and see how it works. You can even use two color combinations. or if you want to keep things simple, you can go for simple single color combination. You can opt for these different styles. All right, you can increase or decrease the width. Transparency can also be altered. So now this indicator is looking a lot different than a simple plain line. But of course, the reading is not going to be any different. It is going to be same, only the styling factor is different in this scenario. Now, levels, we already have one level in place at 0, and since this is a unbounded indicator, it is very difficult to define other levels which we can reliably use. So for this indicator, I think 0 can be used as a critical marker, but apart from that, it will be very difficult to define any level which is going to help us significantly. Recalculate on new candle only. If you want to use this option, then in that scenario the output value of this indicator will remain constant even if the applied price keeps fluctuating throughout the candle period. It will be calculated, the output of the indicator will be calculated only once at the start of the candle, and then it will remain the same throughout the current candle period. If you want to highlight the time period zone, you can do that. So here you can go for the highlighting. The calculation can be customized further. You can go for the instrument from the chart, or you can use any instrument of choice. Almost all of the indicators on the platform are supported to work with this indicator. So you can use this indicator on almost all of these instruments, financial instruments, whether it is forex, commodities, or indices, equities. All right. The candle period can also be customized. You can simply use it as from the chart, or if you feel like, you can use it independently of the chart. Now here, the calculation of the OBV will be based on candle period being divided on of 15 minutes each, even though the chart candle period is of hourly time frame. So you have to determine, you have to see what serve your best purpose in a best possible manner and go for that combination. Use from the chart side, spread side, you can go for ask or bid, and there will be only slight difference. If you want to use the indicator on all the candle periods, you can use that, else you will have to define on which candle period you want to use this indicator, and only on those candle periods this indicator will appear. Now that I have opted for 15 minutes and hourly, only on 15 minutes and hourly we will have this indicator, and on the rest of the time frame there won't be any plotting of this indicator. Okay. Base period also casts an impact on the output of the indicator. So try this out, try these combinations and see what kind of combination serves the purpose of figuring out the opportunities, optimum opportunities using this indicator. Alright. So guys, that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write back to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there too. For trying out this newly released trading platform, the link has been included in the bio. So give it a try and let me know how it works out for you. Thank you all for joining in. I'll be back tomorrow with a new indicator, new formation, new combination. So do come back. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.